Hello and welcome to the KMTRADERS channel. We are looking at Euro USD, and what we'll do is just review last week's video just in terms of the analysis before we get into the analysis for the up and coming week. So in terms of what actually happened in terms with price action and my scenario, so I was expecting the price to try and come back up and retest our higher key levels before we actually made a short entry. So that would have been the perfect scenario, but we didn't manage to get that. So obviously price didn't get to reach our key level at 1.12472, and what happened was price tested again the key level that found support, and that eventually turned over to become resistance to some degree. So we didn't exactly get a proper entry in terms of Euro USD for this week. So what actually happened with price is we sent ourselves, it sent price lower, eventually testing again 1.12164 support, sorry, for resistance, but we didn't manage to remain that level as resistance as we closed above it, and then it sent a price higher to retest higher highs. In terms of this switchover point here, in terms of the turnaround, we got some sort of a slight little divergence that we've got here in terms of RSI becoming oversold, sorry, and that obviously gives us one sort of heads up or sort of warning to start potentially seeing that if buys is a scenario, is a potential, and if this level had remained as resistance, so if this candle did not close completely above, that would have signaled towards for me that we're still going to go lower. But because we closed above and with obviously a strong sort of body, this gave us the impression that we could be making higher highs, and obviously it did to retest high highs, and this is the form of the EMAs beginning to converge over. So in terms of the analysis for next week, let's just step it back a little, just to observe the overall picture again. So on the daily, we can currently see that we're broken out of our downwards channel in purple here. So the breakout is obviously in an uptrend, but we've broken out as of last week, the end of it, so the 5th of July, and we've ultimately came down breaking the trend line and almost retested it with this pin bar. But because of the strong close above, it's not giving me exact confidence that maybe this could still go down. So if I draw this is a form of support for this region, and then this would be here a form of resistance. So if we step it down lower, it should see exactly some retest. So we basically will be getting a triple top if this is able to come back down to retest this level again. But due to we're having a lot of retests on this level again, and this is stable enough to act as support. And if this is able to close above high, then we will be expected for price to come higher. So something like that. So projections could be along the lines of like this potentially. But if this again acts as resistance as it previously has done, then what I will be anticipating is my shorts to be here along the lines of this, just because I don't want to be in any risky positions just in terms of my trading technique. And if we just step it down slightly one level, we can see that we're in a level of consolidation in terms of this sort of motion, like such, like that. So we're in some sort of downwards channel, but it's consolidating. But we also have the buy EMA, so this could give us a degree of potentially pushing higher. But because of this consolidation zone on the hourly, I'm not entirely convinced if we are pushing upwards ultimately. But I will be looking to anticipate potential highs, so go long with Euro USD if we can close above this level. But equally, we can still make money on the short from this level onwards. So we'll have to wait until price unfolds in the following week before we do take any decisions in terms of buying or selling Euro USD. So that will be all for Euro USD for this analysis in this video. I've also mentioned that I will be on Twitter just providing updates on the videos that I make. It will include all the entry points that I take on, so giving a bit more detailed updates in terms of just watching the videos from week to week. You can obviously see how they're getting along during the week now, just because of how I'm posting on Twitter. So I'll be posting the updates such as the setups for my entry points or how I'm planning to get into the trade. And you can obviously see my take profits and my stop loss zones accordingly. So if that's something that you would like to try and if that's something that interests you at all, just go ahead and drop a follow on my Twitter. The link will be in the description for my Twitter handle. And that will be all. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll catch you next week.